Hi, I'm with Ria Tyron, who is location scout and wardrobe coordinator for the upcoming thriller Iniquitous. So Ria, I'd like to talk a little bit about you to begin with. How old are you?
Oh, do I need to share that? I'm 49.
And where did you grow up?
In Corryong, a little place called Corryong. It's in the valley on the way to Thredbo Kosciuszko.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, known as the man from Snow River Country.
Okay.
Mm.
And how did you get your start in the film industry?
Well, a couple of little moonlighting jobs in Darwin, a few in Melbourne. I was actually on a couple of ads in Darwin for Channel 8 for commercial TV, as well as Darwin Tourism. I did a couple of ads for them. And also in Melbourne, I was involved in the launch of Foxtel about 20 years ago. It's actually the 20-year anniversary this year with Foxtel being launched in Australia. So I was a part of that. And yeah, a few little stints here and there. One for Channel 8 for Virgin, well, it was Virgin Blue, back in 2001 when they launched in Darwin, Northern Territory. So I've done a few little things here and there.
Okay. Now, what was your first crew position and what film was it?
Okay, I was actually living in a beautiful property in Kamida, which is West Melbourne on the way to Gisborne. And the people who I lived, like sharing a house with, they actually had a crew coming out there, a film crew coming out there to film their second film at Kamida called Sheborg Massacre. And they asked me to be a part of helping with, you know, looking after the crew in the house, providing them with any assistance they needed, and also to manage the catering when they came out. And that went on for about 5 or 6 weeks, and that was, I think, 2 years ago now. It's probably 2 years or a year ago.
I think just over a year ago.
Was it 2015?
It was last year sometime.
It was like, yeah, so it was around, it was in winter, I know that much. So June, July, August.
And that's where we met.
That's right. So I met yourself, and I received a call from you not long after and asked me to come on board with your film, which was great.
What other projects have you been involved in? You talked about the launch of different shows, different projects.
Well,
like
since I was involved with Iniquitous in Daylesford and looking at the locations to assist you in looking at filming at different spots up there, I was also approached by a company called what's they called? I can't remember now. Anyway, they've got the 4x4 four-wheel drive Aussie Mates series that they're actually going to be showing on Aurora, on Foxtel, Channel Aurora. And they asked me to be involved in looking at locations for themselves up through Trentham and Hepburn and Daylesford, as I'm based up there. And also assist them with any, I don't know, characters, if you will, that would, that they'd be able to actually interview and talk to that lived in the area, artists, musicians, upcoming artists, young people who are quite artistic that need a little bit of recognition. So, yeah, I got involved with them as well. But previous to that, I was pretty much just involved with DDB Needham, and that was back in the early 90s. So when I was working with them in regards to project development and project management for a lot of their call centre requirements for a lot of blue chip companies, that's where I was asked to do a lot of short ads or media releases and stuff like that. And also the wine industry. In early 2000, I was involved in the tourism and advertising of the wine industry.
Okay. Now let's talk about your role first as location scout. What exactly does that involve?
Well, firstly was reading the script or the introduction of the script and the type of locations that the director required, which is yourself. And that's when I was excited, because I was actually quite excited because I thought it's a perfect place. After reading the intro and the locations that you required, we had the perfect locations in Hepburn and Daylesford, pretty much right down to the T of what you required, with the bridge, the lake, the different shops and the businesses, especially the cafe, that gorgeous cafe, which is Cafe Cookler, owned by Travis and Louise, which is just perfect to have, Darren actually busking outside. Yeah, so I guess all the locations that you required were perfect for the film, so that's why we're going ahead with it. Yeah. I fell in love with the place as soon as I got out there. Yeah.
And what challenges have you found with location scouting?
Well, it hasn't been really that difficult because it actually enforced me to get out there and be more motivated to see what was around in the local area. So, you didn't want to miss the perfect location for what you wanted and what you required. But there haven't really been any challenges, really. It's been quite easy. The only challenge I have is with myself. So, nothing's ever a challenge.
Yeah. And you're also wardrobe coordinator, so what's the involvement with that? What do you need to do for that?
Well, obviously, understanding the script and the characters is pretty important, and I'm quite perceptive in regards to what people require, or depending on the look of that person, there might be certain looks that they have already in their natural life. So you have to be really careful, but you want to make sure that they're comfortable with what the wardrobe's going to require for that person and the character that they're going to play. Yeah, so. And
scene breakdowns and work out how many.
That's right.
What scenes are in what days, so you don't have wardrobe changes.
But I think it's important the director probably has the final decision anyway.
Yeah. We've spoken about you and your involvement in the film, so let's talk about Iniquitous itself. Without revealing too much, what is the movie about?
Okay, well, without revealing too much, there's 4 people who don't know each other. Their lives intertwine, and everything just becomes a havoc in their lives. Like it's too hard to explain when there's more detail, but a lot of issues start to occur in each individual's lives.
It's a pretty in-depth story, isn't it?
Yeah,
very intense.
And there's a lot of action, and it's a dramatic thriller, so you can imagine the drama that goes on with each individual's lives.
Yeah. Now, what messages or lessons do you feel the audience will pick up from the film?
I think a lot of people can probably relate to it in this day and age. I think they can relate to their own personal lives, and maybe it will actually help them reflect on their own selves and how they should maybe look at trying to fix their ongoing problems. I think that's how I would look at it, from knowing what I know about the film, not going into too much detail. But I think it would be a great reflection on people to be able to take a good look within themselves from the movie.
Is there a favourite scene in the script that you're really looking forward to?
Yes, the Bronxky Hotel. That's all I'm going to say. I'll leave it at that. It'll probably be our longest filming stint too, I'd say.
Yes, a few people have said that they're really looking forward to that scene.
Yeah. Only because I have, a special connection with, that place as well. Yeah. I only live 500 metres up the road. That's my drinking hole.
If you could take on any other role in the film, any other job, besides wardrobe coordinator and
sure you want to ask me this question?
Or which role would it be and why?
Probably first, second or third director's assistant.
Okay.
Yeah, I'd aim for that.
Yeah.
Just saying, out loud.
That's not because the first AD role is still vacant, is it?
That's right.
Now you've actually wearing a lot of hats in this film, because you're also production assistant. So what do you do as a production assistant?
Pretty much everything. Just throw it at me and I'll do it, pretty much. Whatever assistance you need or the film needs, I'll jump on board and make sure it happens.
Yep.
So just recently I've actually signed up, I haven't had a chance to tell you this, I've just signed up with a course for traffic management and security, which actually takes place in Altona. I won't say who the company is, but I've actually just organised to do that course. So because we do actually need to have registered traffic management control staff on site, as well as first aid, 1, 2 and 3. So I've gone ahead and done that, because we can't actually just use anyone that's actually a part of the crew to stand at each end of the street or the road to take care of that. So yeah, I'll go ahead with that in the next couple of weeks. So it's been a bit hectic.
Well, thank you very much, Ria. It's going to be a pleasure working with you.
Yeah, and yourself, thank you. Thanks for the opportunity. It's been great.